everybody, it's me, MiaFran again. Welcome back to my channel and to another Fruits Basket Season 2 review with Chantal.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody, to more crying and nodding my head because I'm agreeing with whatever's being said on screen. That was pretty much the whole episode for me. Well, I didn't cry the whole episode, but I did cry. But you were correct. Chantal sent me a text like in the middle of the day after she watched it, and she was like, this episode's gonna make you cry too, and I was like, well, fuck.
It's like, what did we expect?
I know. Like, I expect to cry next episode too, especially considering the fucking title of the next episode.
Oh.
I mean, the next episode is gonna be called Are You Okay? No, I'm not okay. To quote My Chemical Romance, I'm not okay. That's for all my emos out there who still listen to My Chemical Romance. Yeah, I won't be okay. And I was okay most of this episode. It was like the part where Rin is like doing that inner monologue to herself where she talks about like, I don't want people who are so kind to be taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks about like seeing Tohru for the first time, and she's like, I really wanted to just go over to her because I could already tell what kind of person she was, that she would comfort me and that like I could tell her everything I was feeling, but I didn't want to because I don't want to hurt her like Haru has already been hurt. And I just, man, the tears just silently fell as I just watched that shit unfold. Just getting the crying part out of the way. That was when I was crying.
I know.
I was just nodding my head like, yeah, I know. I know that's why. I know that's why. You don't mean to be. Because she even, like, she's trying to say, she doesn't mean to be ugly. She just pushes people away so they don't get hurt. Specifically, like, Haru and Tohru, because she knows that they're both kind people. And like I said, I mentioned earlier, she doesn't want kind people. Kind people are, like, the easiest to be taken advantage of. That's what she feels.
Dude, all those, like, really pretty social bubbles that you see with Tohru. And she's, like, thinking about her when Rin's thinking.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cute. But it shows what she thinks about her. I like, the visuals in this was, like, really nice this week. The visuals and animation, man.
Yeah. It was very, like, in most parts it was, like, very peaceful. It was like, oh, it's very nice to look at. And then there was, like, some not super chaotic looking moments, but it was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't as... It's not more gritty, it's more, like, convulsing, I guess. Like, it looks like it's convulsing.
They probably spent more time with this episode. At least that's what it's looking like. Because it felt like I wasn't watching like an anime episode, but something like out of a movie.
Yeah, or like a drama or something.
Yeah.
High budget kind of like, yeah, it felt like it was like, you know how I said the new OP is like cinematic? It was very cinematic as well, very cinematic quality. Like, this is something you could easily probably recreate. There weren't big silly goofy moments or anything like that. Like, just enough exaggeration for it to be, again, considered like cinematic. Now we can see that, you know, Rin trusts Tohru. She doesn't hate her or anything like that. She was just kind of putting up a front so she doesn't get close and get hurt.
Dude, the part when they were fighting and like yelling at each other, like it made me laugh when Tohru was like, I am gonna meddle.
Yeah.
That got Rin off guard and she was like, what the fuck? But damn, man, neither one of them wants to like go down.
Yeah.
And Rin has no choice but to like accept it. Tohru's gonna be there whether she likes it or not.
But you can tell she like kind of welcomes it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she comes to visit her, she like talks to her, and you know, she's not like throwing an IV at her like she did with Haru. And like when Yuki asked her, like, did she like throw an IV at you? And Toto's like, no, why would she do that? And even Kyo was like, what the fuck? Why would you ask that? What kind of question is that?
Like, who would do that?
Yeah.
And Yuki's like, well.
But that's what Haru said. And that was cute that she made her jello. And then they show you that she's like, well, I don't want to eat it because it's stuff that I don't like. Well, what do you like to eat? Jello? Hell yeah, I'm on board. I love jello.
It's so cute, man, because when she brings it, she's like all embarrassed.
Just like, you actually brought it? You're an idiot. I mean, that's what you said you liked, so...
I know, she had a little blush too. She was happy.
Yeah, she's probably like, oh, it's the first time somebody's actually like, listen to what I want to eat or what I like. Because they probably don't listen to her. I mean, you know, when you're on the hospital and stuff, you're put on like a strict diet sometimes. They can only give you certain foods that they make there.
And sometimes the food's nasty.
Yeah, sometimes hospital food is probably like really gross, and sometimes it's stuff you don't even want to eat. So,
But their friendship is really cute. I really liked
Yeah.
like their little connection and like the moments that they had to themselves. Like it was super Rin and Tohru heavy this whole entire episode.
yeah.
I don't know why I wasn't I wasn't expecting that, but at the same time I kind of expected it, but like not this much.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, and then also seeing them like walk through like the little courtyard in the hospital, like kind of talking to each other about the curse and everything. Like it was nice to see like someone actually kind of like help explain stuff to Tohru, because usually she gets like the runaround from everybody. Like nobody
one
wants
tell
to
her.
talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But since they both have like a set same goal, she's kind of like, okay, I'll tell you all that I know.
Yeah. I mean, Kazuma kind of like explained it to her as best as he could, but even then he was like, well, I can't really tell you much because I'm in the dark as much as you are.
When he's not a Zodiac member,
Mm-hmm.
but even still, like some of the Zodiac members, like they won't say anything, they don't want to talk about it. But Rin is like, she's more into like, well, I need to know how to break the curse. And you know, Tohru really kind of insists on her like, hey, well, I want to break it too. Like, you know, I have my reasons.
Yeah,
You know,
which
I'm
they
willing to
do.
help you.
She does ask Tohru like, hey, what's your reason? And instantly, like, I feel like we all knew, like, we know why.
Yeah.
But Tohru couldn't say it, man.
And then she was like questioning herself later on in that, like at the end of the episode. She was like, why couldn't I say something? Like before, if I had been asked that, I would have just answered right away. But this time I can't.
That's when we get like Rin's inner monologue where she's like, oh man, like she's about to like hit her breaking point. And if she hits it, she's gonna end up like me. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't think it was gonna be that bad.
Well, when you're not getting the answers to a question you've had for a long time and you're trying to ask everybody who can help you and they won't because they don't know it either, it's just like, what else can you do?
She was thinking about her mom again.
I know. It was hard to watch.
Ooh, man.
Having that dream and then waking up and like looking into the dark hallway.
Dude, the look
like,
that she had.
She's like reflecting on, because now she kind of realizes, oh, well, we're not going to be together forever. Because I already said I was going to leave when I graduate. Like, she's already thinking about like the future and like, oh shit, forever is not going to last much longer. She's on a limited amount of time now. She's pretty much realized.
And they all have to go back.
Yeah, that too. She's kind of also realized like, oh man, you know, Rin basically confirmed that it's true. Like, technically, like everyone's kind of like stuck being in the Zodiac. And then she told her don't talk to Kureno because she doesn't trust him. She feels like he's not one of them. He's too close to Akito, but he might know how to break the curse. I don't know. We'll probably find out next episode, and we'll probably find out why Rin doesn't think he's one of them. But I'm excited because that means more of my bird boy in the next episode. Don't be too hard on him, Rin. It's okay. He's got his reasons. It was good character development. Like, we're past the hurdle of Rin being all like, no, fuck you, Tohru. Like, fuck everybody. Like, she's finally letting people help her.
Well, sort of. She still doesn't want to accept her help. She's like, why do I want an unreliable partner like you? I was like, Rin, stop. Just let her help.
I mean, she'll see how reliable she is when she kind of lets things kind of settle a little bit.
But I'm excited for more Rin and Tohru moments because they seem like they got really close in this short amount of time. After Rin finally put down her walls a little bit. Dude, I was surprised when she was like ready to jump out that window to run away. I was like,
Hot's like, no.
He had to like try to like get her back in. Jesus. The poor man.
And Tohru just like dropped all the food on the rug, and I was like, Tohru,
the food.
You dropped the food and you like got food all over your rug. It was a pretty rug.
But instantly when she hears Tohru, she like calms down.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Well, also, viewers out there, and Chantal, did you notice that Yuki said, well, now Rin and I found a similarity between Rin and I in that moment.
Yep.
I wonder what that means. We'll find out later.
Oh, I have a feeling what it might be. It was in the trailer.
But it's, well, I'm not sure what that fully means, but because I didn't watch the trailer.
It's in the trailer, and then somebody out there on Twitter posted a certain image. I will not say what it is, but I will discuss it at a later time. But I'm a little pissed that I found out. I was like,
Well,
God damn it.
Once they reveal like what he actually is talking about, like it'll be easier to discuss it because it's like it's being kind of like unraveled slowly every episode.
Yeah.
All these different things and reasons, like, because I mean, and I can only see that because I've read the manga and I know like what they're talking about sometimes, because they have to be real secretive and all, you know, metaphorical and shit with their reasonings because they can't just give out spoilers to the anime onlys and stuff. You know, I get that.
Because even with the, like, right now that you're speaking about that, like with the vague stuff that they're saying throughout the episode, Shigure said something like super vague, and I was like, breaking what? Because he tells Hattori that can't you hear like the sound of something breaking, and I was like, huh?
Yeah. Honestly though, when the this is so stupid, but like when he said that, he's like, can you hear that? Before he said anything, like that, and I saw the wind, you know that moment in like Monsters Inc. He's like, you hear that? It's the winds of change. I just fucking thought of that, and I started like doing like Michael's house, like, you hear that? You hear the winds of change? I was like, oh my god, it's the same shit. I was like, I swear to god, if he says like the winds of change or something, I was gonna like fucking lose it.
Well, I am not gonna look at that scene the same again.
It reminded me of that. Like, that's what popped in my head before he said something breaking. I was like, the winds of change? Because they showed the winds and I just couldn't help but laugh. It was funny. If you don't know, I'm gonna find that fucking clip from Monsters Inc. and put it in.
Insert it.
Yes, insert it right here. Oh my god, it's so funny. And then we got the little scene between Yuki and Haru as well.
That was cute.
And Haru's basically like, well, you don't have to worry about me anymore. It's all good.
It was funny when he meets Manaben and fucking Haru's like, please take care of Yuki, and he's like, don't worry, sir, I'll take care of your daughter. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Daughter, right? And Yuki's like, do you want to fucking die, bro? I just like that, like, what's her name? She like calls him over the intercom and says Yun and everything, and Yuki's just like, oh my god.
And then
I can't believe this just happened.
Haru calls him Union too. He's like, no, stop.
He's like, do not call me that. But then Haru like smiles, like he was happy that Yuki
is finally like opening up.
Yeah, and has like other friends and everything. Like he's not being so closed off. Like he likes that he's seeing Yuki being really fucking annoyed with Manabe. It means
he's happy.
It means he's happier with himself and where he is. And Haru is just like, well, because again they have like a special bond. It's very wholesome.
It was. There was a part in the episode, I can't remember exactly when it happened, because I saw this episode like right when it dropped.
Oh, yeah, earlier today.
Yeah, so my mind is like fuzzy, so forgive me for y'all that are listening that I can't remember clearly, but I liked the use of, I always say this, I feel like I have to bring up the OST like every other week now, but the OST is so good, man. And this week's episode, I don't know why I can't remember like what part, but there was a part where it kind of like got louder, but also it kind of sounded very like broken, if that makes sense. I was like, that's kind of a good use of what's happening here, and I was gonna write it down and I didn't, which I probably should have.
Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention to the music this time around. I was more paying attention to like what was being said, because I'm looking for the hints and foreshadowing for like the stuff that's gonna happen later.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, when is this gonna happen? Like, how much further can I expect these certain events to happen? And it's like, at least for this episode specifically, I wasn't really listening to the OST that much, but I'm sure upon my rewatch, when it finally gets dubbed this episode, I'll think to listen for that. Yeah,
because I wasn't really paying attention until like I was noticing it, because I think it was a moment between, there's several moments between Tohru and Rin this episode, but it's like one of the big moments that I remember.
Yeah.
At least. I could be totally wrong. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched it, but
Been a good few hours.
Yeah. Which is why you need to write things down if you're doing these things, which I fucking should have, and I did not. I was like, I'll be fine. Clearly not. If you guys go back and listen to it, like, not really like look for it, but you'll hear it. It sounds very like not totally distraught, but it was like very like subtle, but you can kind of hear it. It sounds kind of like interrupted. I don't know how I can explain it, but when you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll be like, oh shit, yeah. And it's one of the OSTs that I listen to like regularly from the season 1 OST. It was I think the OST is called I Will Protect You. Anyway, so I will link to the OST like down below. That way you guys, if you guys, so if you guys don't know
I'll pin
what the fuck
comment.
I'm talking about, just listen to that, and then once you hear it in the episode, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see you. I see what you were talking about or trying to say.
Yeah.
I suck at explaining music, but hopefully this makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because that stuff's important, and I do try to listen for it sometimes, especially in this show, because sometimes the music can be really, like, ugh, creepy. For certain parts, I'm like, what the fuck?
Or I think my ears
really
pick it up.
the scene. Probably because you hear it so often.
So often, yeah. And I'm like, oh.
If you
So
hear,
it's
like,
kind
a
of like-
slight change in it, it's kind of like, oh, that's not how it's supposed to go. Again, a lot of these more recent episodes, like, there hasn't been too much, like, hidden meaning to anything. Too much. They've been more straightforward. Like, we kind of understand what they're trying to say without them saying it now, because we're getting like pushed towards like certain feelings or like certain pairings, couplings, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like Tohru didn't need to give her answer or anything, because it's like, no, we already kind of know what she was gonna say. Like, we don't have to speculate. Like we had been at the beginning of the season or anything.
But Toto's definitely gonna get some development based on what we saw there.
Yeah.
Because it looks like she needs to overcome her past that she has to deal with.
Because it was interesting that, like, when she opened the door to her room to, like, peek out, she was just looking at, like, the stairwell there. Like, you would think she would maybe peek out a little bit more, look at, like, Yuki's door and Kyo's door. That's what I thought she was gonna do.
Her eyes look just completely, like, dead.
Yeah, she looked super dead. Void of, like, any emotion.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that, when you see her looking out, like, from her perspective, she's just looking into the darkness, and you can see, like, you know, that's where the stairs go down. It's kind of, like, leading to nothing when her mom left that day. It's kind of eerie. Especially because, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're growing up or whatever, or even, like, now, it's like sometimes you open the door and you can see just the darkness. And it's kind of like, ugh. Like, I know that there's, you know, what's there. There's stairs or the hallway. But it's still kind of creepy, just kind of looking out and being kind of contemplating, like, something like that while you're staring off into the darkness.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so too, other than that. Nothing else.
That's all I can think of.
Me too. I mean, in terms of next episode, I feel like possibly next episode, Toto's gonna go see Kurano again.
I did not recognize who the voice was.
It sounded like Rin.
Because I thought it was, like, maybe Machi?
Oh, possibly. I don't know. We haven't really heard her talk this whole time. Like, at all.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with what her Japanese voice sounds like. Because she hasn't really said anything.
But we will wait until...
And I'm sure... I think next is when Toru's gonna go see Kurano again. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Because the only reason why I'm thinking Machi is just because I thought we were gonna see that in this episode, which is why I was holding my breath.
Very true. Yeah, because they were showing Yuki go with Manabe, or like say, okay, I'm coming, I'm gonna go to the student council room, chill out. Like, yeah, you would think we would at least see them interacting. I don't know, maybe they're gonna show that too in the episode. You're right, that might be a possibility.
It's because something happens in the trailer I will not speak of yet.
Well, we can talk about it after we're done recording.
Yeah, but just that moment in particular, that's why I keep holding my breath anytime I see Yuki and Manabe together.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that gonna happen here?
I guess we'll find out next week. And if Toru doesn't see Kurano in the next episode, I assume the episode after that.
Mm-hmm.
I know, we're almost at episode 20. We're getting down to the wire here with the last part of the season, so
I know.
we're getting close.
We're almost at the end.
Yeah, next week is episode 20. We're getting to the nitty-gritty here.
Mm-hmm.
Because after once this season is over and we got next season, that's it.
Right.
See the end of the tunnel soon. Not quite too soon, but you know, once season 3 starts, gonna be like, oh shit.
We're getting close, Mia.
Yeah, so get ready, everybody. We're hitting the final part of season 2. The last, what, like 5 or 6 episodes? So how many episodes is this gonna have? 24? 25?
I
26?
have no idea, but max is like 25.
I would assume like 25 or 26. At maximum 26. Possibly. Minimum 24. 25. I feel like it could be in the 25 is probably a good answer too. Like the best answer is 25. Yeah, 6 more episodes pretty much. Give or take. Which, I mean, that's 6 more weeks, but, you know, with everything going on right now, the weeks just kind of go by really fast. Well, anyway, enough of our ramblings. If you guys like this video, please leave a comment what you thought about what happened in this video, where you think it's going. Please no spoilers in the comments in terms of what's going to happen next. So you can, you know, talk about what happened in this episode and previous episodes, of course, but no giving spoilers as to relationships or anything. Just don't want to, you know, spoil it for anybody in the comments who hasn't read the manga or at this point, you know, in the future hasn't seen the entire series yet to completion. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you thought about the goings on in this episode, as well as what you're looking forward to. Again, we're getting down to the wire pretty much. And thank you for joining once again, Chantal.
No problem.
It's always fun to have you over here.
It's always a good time.
And next week we'll be on Chantal's channel talking about the next episode of Fruits Basket. But we do talk about different things together separately. I do unboxings. We both play some really great gacha games. So please go subscribe to Chantal. If you like my content, you'll like hers as well.
Well, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining us once again every other week to discuss Fruits Basket Season 2. So, as always, have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Bye!